Welcome back to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a really foundational tool. It helps cut through the noise, you know,
Yeah.
helps us understand success, strategy, even potential pitfalls. We're talking about SWOT analysis.
Right. And it's not just for like massive corporations.
Exactly. It's a framework you can use to evaluate pretty much anything, a new business idea, an existing company, even your own career path.
Hmm.
So our mission today is basically to break this tool down, see how it helps assess, the internal stuff and the external environment.
And ultimately how that feeds into making smart strategic decisions, getting that competitive edge.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to use a pretty well-known example to make it all click.
Should be interesting.
But first, before we dive deeper, just a quick reminder that this deep dive is based on material from Farhat lectures. All content, examples, and explanations discussed here are derived from the comprehensive accounting resources at farhatlectures.com. Whether you're an accounting student, CPA candidate, or professional, visit the website for additional practice questions, video lectures, and detailed support to reinforce today's topic. Special thanks to Professor Farhat for providing this valuable material.
Okay, good stuff to know.
All right, so SWOT. Let's just quickly refresh. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. We know the letters.
Uh-huh.
It's about looking inside a company and outside. But the real trick isn't just the list, it's how you separate them and then we'll connect them, right?
Exactly right. And that's the crucial distinction. Where people sometimes trip up initially, it's what's happening inside the business versus outside.
Okay.
So strengths and weaknesses, those are internal. Think about what the business actually controls. Its resources, maybe a unique skill, its advantages, or, its shortcomings. Things it's not great at.
Stuff you can actually change or work on directly.
Precisely. But then opportunities and threats, totally external. These are out there in the environment happening whether your business exists or not.
Right.
You don't control them, but you absolutely have to react to them. Opportunities might be market trends, maybe a new technology you can use, stuff you can exploit.
And threats.
Threats are the hurdles, new competitors popping up, maybe an economic downturn, changing customer tastes, supply chain chaos, things that could really hurt your progress.
So it's not just 4 boxes you fill in.
Not at all. The strategic goal, the whole point, is seeing how these 4 bits interact, how they dance together, really.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try to nail down some simple definitions then.
Yeah.
A strength is
Yeah.
an internal thing that gives you an edge.
Yeah, exactly. What you do well, unique resources you have. Like Farhat lectures, their strength is clearly teaching the material effectively.
Got it. And a weakness.
Yep.
Also internal,
Right.
but puts you at a disadvantage, like admitting a shortcoming.
Yep. Hinders performance compared to others.
Okay. Opportunity that's external. Something you could take advantage of to grow, like an unmet need.
Perfect. Or a new market space opening up.
And threat, also external. Stuff that could cause trouble, hinder growth, maybe let competitors steal your lunch. Needs a defensive plan.
You got it. Environmental elements that could cause problems.
So the big goal then, the reason we do this.
It's about creating an actionable plan. That's paramount. You're looking to use your strengths, the stuff you're good at, to grab those opportunities out there.
Okay.
And at the same time, you need to work on your weaknesses, shore them up, so you can handle the threats you see coming. It's about aligning everything proactively.
Right, this is where it gets really interesting. Taking the theory and making it real. Let's use that example. Tesla.
Ah, okay. Good one.
Let's start inside, peeling back the layers. Their internal landscape. What gives them their edge? When you think Tesla's strengths, what immediately jumps out?
Well, you kind of have to start with their innovative technology, right? I mean, it's foundational. They're not just building cars. They're pushing boundaries, EV tech, advanced batteries, the whole autonomous driving thing. It's backed by serious R&D, true innovators.
Yeah, that relentless push is undeniable. And that feeds right into another huge one, doesn't it? Their brand reputation.
Oh, absolutely.
They've really become the name in the EV space. Quality, performance, sustainability. People just think Tesla. That brand power is immense.
It really is. And it's not easy to copy. Plus, it gets amplified by their, well, some call it almost cult-like brand loyalty. They have this incredibly passionate community, fans, customers. They're not just buyers, they're advocates, spreading the word organically. That's a powerful moat.
That is fascinating. So
Yeah.
you've got the tech, the loyal following. What about something more practical? For the everyday driver, those supercharger stations, the extensive charging infrastructure, that seems like a massive advantage.
It absolutely is. A huge practical advantage. It tackles range anxiety head-on, makes owning an EV convenient, fast charging, it enhances the whole experience, kind of locks customers in.
Okay.
And another thing, maybe less obvious, is their clarity of vision. Elon Musk's focus on sustainable energy, it does more than just drive innovation.
How so?
Well, it attracts top talent. People want to work on that mission. It attracts investors too, and it keeps everyone pushing in the same direction, exploring not just EVs, but battery storage, charging tech, self-driving.
It's amazing how linked these all are. The vision attracts talent, which drives innovation, which builds the brand.
Exactly. And don't forget marketing effectiveness. Their direct-to-consumer model gives them control. Plus, Elon Musk's social media presence generates massive buzz.
Yeah, you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
And his management competency and influence, despite controversies, is seen as a major asset by many. His vision shapes everything.
It's a key part of their story, for sure.
Okay, so lots of strengths, but now let's flip the coin. The internal weaknesses. This is where it gets tricky. Because like you said, a strength can sometimes be a weakness too.
It definitely can. And one of the biggest weaknesses people point to, ironically, comes directly from that last strength we mentioned, the over-reliance on Elon Musk.
The key person risk.
Precisely. His vision is an asset, but the company is so tied to him personally. If he leaves or gets sidelined by health, legal issues like with the SEC, whatever,
Big problems.
huge potential instability. Investor confidence could plummet, stock price drops, strategic plans get disrupted. It's a definite double-edged sword.
Makes total sense. His personal brand is the company brand, almost. What about operations? I hear things about high production costs and production capacity constraints.
Yeah, those are real internal hurdles. Making EVs at scale is expensive. It hits profitability. They're constantly fighting to get costs down.
And they can't always build them fast enough.
Right. Despite huge demand, they've had bottlenecks, supply chain issues, limiting how many cars they can actually produce and deliver. That's lost opportunity right there.
And once the car is delivered, what about after sales? The service and support network, how does that stack up?
Well, it's growing, but it's still a challenge compared to legacy automakers with decades of established networks.
Right.
Rapid growth puts a strain on service. You hear reports from customers about long waits, parts not being available sometimes. It doesn't always match the premium price tag, which can frustrate owners.
Okay, so service capacity is a weakness. Anything else on the production side? Like quality control?
Yeah, that's another one that crops up. Criticisms about inconsistent fit and finish, paint issues, trim, sometimes electronics in new vehicles.
Even if covered by warranty, it impacts perception.
Exactly. It can damage that premium reputation and hurt customer satisfaction over time. They're working on it, but it's been a recurring theme.
So it really shows that weakness-strength dynamic. Improve quality control. It becomes a strength. Let service lag. A strength like brand loyalty could erode.
Precisely. It's all interconnected and needs constant attention.
Okay, let's shift gears now. Look outside the company, the external landscape.
Right.
Opportunities Tesla can grab and threats they need to watch out for. What are the big opportunities?
Well, the most obvious one is just the massive growing demand for electric vehicles. The whole world is shifting towards cleaner transport. Environmental awareness is up.
So the tide is rising, and they're in a great position to ride that wave.
Absolutely. Huge potential to grab even more market share globally.
And not just in current markets, right? What about expansion into new markets?
Definitely. Big opportunities internationally, especially in emerging markets like China, where EV adoption is just exploding.
And are they just a car company? Or is there an opportunity for diversification beyond automobiles?
Oh, huge potential there. They have amazing battery tech. That expertise can be leveraged way beyond cars. Think energy storage for the grid, solar power.
Right, the whole renewable energy ecosystem.
Exactly. The energy sector is enormous. They have the core tech to be a massive player there, too.
Okay, those are some clear growth paths.
Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier, sometimes things can be both good and bad, an opportunity and a threat,
Yeah, that definitely happens. Take dependence on government incentives.
like the tax credits.
Right. Those $7,500 credits or similar schemes elsewhere are a huge opportunity. They directly boost sales, make the cars more affordable,
Right.
but they're totally dependent on government policy. Those incentives can change, shrink, or disappear completely. That makes them a significant threat, too. Demand could drop if they vanish. It's that double-edged sword again.
Policy risk. Makes sense. And even with their head start, the EV playground is getting crowded now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Intense competition must be a major threat.
Oh, absolutely. Huge threat. The traditional automakers are finally getting serious about EVs.
Ford, GM, VW.
Exactly. They're pouring billions in. They have manufacturing scale, existing dealer networks, huge customer bases. They're directly challenging Tesla's market share, even though Tesla's still the leader.
Yeah.
That fight is only going to get tougher.
And regulations again.
Mm.
Beyond incentives, just regulatory changes in general.
Yeah, shifts in policies on emissions, standards, subsidies, safety rules. Any of that can negatively impact the business model or add costs. It's a constant external pressure.
What about the supply chain? You mentioned constraints earlier as a weakness, but is there an external threat component too?
For sure. Supply chain risk. Being dependent on specific suppliers, especially for things like battery materials, creates vulnerability. Disruptions happen, think of pandemics, geopolitical tensions
Right.
that can hammer production and delivery schedules. And related to that is broader economic and political instability. Trade wars, recessions, global events like COVID, they affect material costs, logistics, overall consumer spending. Big external shocks.
Okay, so we've mapped it all out. Strengths, weaknesses inside, opportunities, threats outside. Tesla is a great case study. So what does this all mean? How do you actually use this? What's the point of the analysis?
Right, this is where it all comes together. You don't just list things, you combine them to create strategies. There's sort of four main ways to think about it.
Okay.
First, you have SWOT strategies. Strength opportunity. This is about using your internal strengths to really jump on those external opportunities.
Go on the offense.
Exactly. For Tesla, use that innovative tech and strong brand strengths to capture more of the growing EV demand and expand into new markets. Opportunities. Be aggressive, launch new models, push R&D harder.
Okay, leverage strengths for growth. What's next?
Then you have WO strategies. Weakness opportunity. Here you're trying to fix your internal weaknesses so you can better grab those external opportunities.
So improve internally to unlock external potential.
Precisely. Tesla's high production costs, weakness, could hinder expansion into price-sensitive emerging markets. So a WO strategy might be investing heavily in radically new, cheaper manufacturing processes specifically to target those markets. Strategic improvement.
Makes sense. And what about dealing with threats? How do strengths help there?
That brings us to ST strategies, strength threat. You use your strengths to shield yourself from external threats.
Like using your advantages defensively.
Right. Intense competition is heating up. Threat. Tesla can lean on its brand loyalty, its supercharger network, its tech-led strengths to differentiate itself and try to hold on to market share. Use what you've got to protect yourself.
Okay, one more quadrant left. It's a tricky one. Weaknesses and threats together.
Yeah, WT strategies. Weakness threat. This is often about damage control or minimizing risk. You address your weaknesses to lessen the impact of external threats.
How would that look for Tesla?
Well, their over-reliance on Musk, weakness, combined with potential regulatory crackdowns or economic instability threats. A WT strategy might involve serious succession planning, maybe building up other leaders' profiles, diversifying the supply chain more aggressively to be less vulnerable to shocks. It's often about defense and building resilience.
Wow, that
Ew.
really makes it practical. It's not just a grid, it's a strategic thinking tool.
That's exactly what it is.
And like we said, this isn't just for giant companies. You listening can apply this framework to, well, almost anything. A side hustle idea, your next career move, even just understanding a company you're thinking of investing in.
Absolutely.
SWOT gives you that clear, structured way to look at things and get to those actionable insights. So there you have it, the real dynamic power of doing a SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
It gives you that structured view inside, outside, what you're good at, where you're vulnerable, where the chances are, and what might trip you up.
Illuminates paths for growth, flags areas needing improvement, helps make smarter decisions.
Definitely.
And, in a world just drowning in information, thinking critically like this is so important, maybe a final thought for everyone listening. How could identifying your own, say, internal strengths help you navigate the external opportunities out there?
Oh, interesting.
Or, flipping it, how could understanding your weaknesses help you prepare for potential threats in your own career, your own life? Something to chew on.
Yeah, definitely food for thought. It really is about investing in yourself, isn't it? Understanding these tools, understanding the world. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into SWOT analysis today. And remember, if you want to explore more about business analysis, accounting principles, or need more practice on topics like SWOT, you can find really valuable resources over at farhatlectures.com. Seriously, go check it out and invest in yourself.
Good advice.
We look forward to our next deep dive with you. Until then, keep digging for knowledge.